Emma lived in a small town, far away. It was a quiet place, a gentle place. But Emma's heart held a very big dream. She dreamed of America, a land of bright lights, a land of big opportunities, just waiting. She read stories about it, saw pictures of it. This dream grew bigger every single day. It was a whisper that became a clear call. She knew she had to follow this call. A new life was waiting for her there. Leaving home was one of the hardest things. Saying goodbye to her loving family was tough. Her friends, the familiar streets, her small room. All these things pulled at her heart deeply, but the dream of America pulled even stronger. It was a beacon of hope shining so bright. This hope gave her courage, it gave her strength. She packed her bags with clothes and dreams. She knew this was her path, her own journey, a journey towards freedom and a new start. The plane finally landed in New York City. Emma stepped out and her eyes opened wide. The city was a giant, full of vibrant energy. Yellow taxis zipped by like busy fireflies. Tall buildings soared high, touching the clouds above. So many sounds, so many voices, so much life. It was nothing like her quiet little hometown. This was a whole new world, big and bold. She felt a mix of fear and pure excitement. This was the beginning of everything new for her. She took her first steps onto the busy sidewalk. The air buzzed with 1,000 untold stories. People from everywhere rushed past her quickly. Each face held a different dream, a different journey. Emma clutched her small bag a little tighter. She felt like a tiny boat in a giant ocean. But deep inside, a strong spirit was awakening. She told herself, I am here. I can do this. This city, New York, was now her new canvas. She was ready to paint her own American dream. Emma found a tiny apartment in a lively neighborhood. It was small, but it was her very own space. Her first few weeks were a whirlwind of new things. Learning the subway system felt like a puzzle. Figuring out how to buy groceries, pay bills. Every day brought a new, small challenge to face. Sometimes she felt a little lost, a bit overwhelmed. But she remembered why she came all this way. This was part of her adventure, her growth. She was learning to stand on her own 2 feet. Soon, Emma found a job at a busy café. The café was always filled with people and chatter. It was in the heart of the bustling city. The work was fast and the days were long. She learned to make coffee, serve customers quickly. She listened carefully to orders, trying her best. This was her first real taste of American work life. It was demanding, but it was also exciting. She was earning her own money, building her way. Each day she grew more confident in her role. At the café, Emma met so many different people. Her colleagues came from all corners of the world. One was from Italy, another from Brazil, one from Ireland. They shared stories of their homes, their journeys. The customers too were a beautiful mix of cultures. She heard different languages, saw different customs. Every interaction was like opening a new door. It showed her how big and wonderful the world was. She learned to say hello in many new ways. New York City was a true melting pot of life. These new connections brought so much joy to Emma. She started to feel less like a stranger in the city. Her colleagues became her new supportive friends. They helped her understand American ways a little better. They shared laughter during busy shifts at the cafe. They encouraged her when she felt a bit down. These friendships were like little lights guiding her. They showed her the kindness that exists everywhere. She realized that diversity was a beautiful gift. It made her world richer and much more colorful. Emma worked very hard at the cafe each day. She woke up early, often before the sun rose. Her shifts were long and her feet would ache. But she never complained, not even once. She kept her ultimate dream close to her heart, the dream of one day opening her own bakery. This dream was the fuel that kept her going. It made the hard work feel meaningful and important. She knew every coffee served, every table cleaned, was a small step towards her very own big goal. Saving money became Emma's dedicated mission. She was careful with every dollar she earned. She cooked her own meals instead of eating out. She walked instead of taking a taxi when possible. It wasn't always easy to resist small temptations. A new dress in a shop window, a fancy coffee. But she always remembered her bakery dream. She had a special jar where she put her savings. Watching that jar fill up gave her great satisfaction. It was a visible sign of her steady progress. Besides working, Emma decided to study business. She enrolled in night classes at a community college. Juggling her job and her studies was very challenging. After a long day at the café, she was tired, but she would open her books and study hard, learning about marketing, finance, and management. Some concepts were difficult to understand at first. She asked questions, she read extra materials. Her determination to learn was incredibly strong. She knew this knowledge was key to her future. There were small victories along the way for Emma, getting a good grade on a difficult exam, reaching a new milestone in her savings jar, perfecting a new coffee recipe at the cafe. These moments made her feel proud and capable. They showed her that her efforts were paying off. Her resilience was like a muscle, growing stronger. She faced setbacks, but she always got back up. She was learning so much about business and about herself. Emma was building her dream, one piece at a time. One sunny afternoon, Emma sat on a bench. She was in Central Park, a green heart in the city. She watched children laugh, people stroll by peacefully. She took a deep breath of the fresh, clean air. She looked back on her journey since leaving home. It felt like a lifetime ago, yet also like yesterday. So much had changed. She herself had changed. She had grown stronger, more independent, more hopeful. This park, this city, felt like part of her now. She smiled, a quiet, contented smile spreading. She remembered the struggles she had bravely faced. There were days of deep loneliness in the beginning, moments when she missed her family terribly, worries about money, about making ends meet. Sometimes the fast pace of the city was overwhelming, but she had faced each challenge with courage. She had learned to ask for help when needed. She found strength she never knew she possessed. These struggles had shaped her, not broken her. They made her appreciate the good times even more. Emma thought about the beautiful diversity around her, the people she met, the stories she had heard. New York City had opened her eyes and her heart. She learned that differences make life interesting. They make the world a more vibrant place to be. Her American dream was not just about success. It was about connection, understanding, and belonging. It was about building a life filled with purpose and sharing her own unique gifts with the world. The dream was alive and well within her spirit. As the sun began to set over the city skyline, Emma felt a deep sense of peace and hope. She was still working hard, still saving, still learning. Her bakery was not yet a reality, but it felt closer. She could almost smell the sweet scent of baking bread. She knew there would be more challenges ahead, but she also knew she had the strength to face them. Her new life in America was full of promise. Emma was happy, she was fulfilled, she was free. Her American dream was beautifully unfolding each day.